Good morning, dear children, dear grown-ups. I'm Else, in case you haven't met me before. So this is our second painting lesson. But if you haven't seen the first one, it doesn't matter. We will recapitulate a little bit what we did last time. So I want to show you what we painted last time. We painted from our story, The Little Violet. Remember, down it grows, and big trees were around it, and it could see the blue sky above, and there was a whole story about that. I brought you once more the little violet which I dug up in the woods. See, it has changed. Some of them, they're folding up, and this one has become more pale, more bluish in color. But you can really see nicely the shape of the leaves, like a little heart. All right, I will tell you first once more the story, just so we can all remember it. Once upon a time, in a wood where the sun shone through the trees, there lived a little violet. It looked up, and amongst the tree branches it could see the blue sky. Now when the little violet saw the great blue sky, it became a bit afraid, although it did not know why it was afraid. You see, it was the first time that it saw the blue sky, because it had only just blossomed. Just then, a dog came by. Not a very nice dog, a rather snappy and rude dog. The violet said, "What is that up there that is so blue like me?" And the dog said, "That's a great big giant violet that got so big so it can crush you." Oh, then the violet became very much afraid and did not want to look up anymore. See, it hid itself under a leaf that blew down from a tree and stayed there all day long. Always worrying and thinking about when was the first blow going to come, when would it get hit by the blue sky. But it didn't happen. And when it woke up in the morning, it was refreshed again. And the first thing that the violet saw was the rising of the sun and the rosy dawn. And when it saw the rosy dawn, the violet felt happy again. But after some time, the sky slowly became blue again. And then the violet started to worry once more. Would the great big giant violet come to crush it? Just then, a little lamb came by. "Maa, maa, maa." And the violet had to ask again, What is that up there?" And the lamb said, "It's a great big violet, just like you, so blue." Then the violet was again afraid, because she thought the lamb would say the same thing, that it would soon come to crush her. But the lamb said, "Oh no, this is a great big blue violet, which has so much love, much greater love than you. And it is there to protect you." And when the violet heard that, it knew this was true. The great big blue violet was up there to protect the little violet. And she felt as if the great divine love was streaming all around her. And she looked up to the sky to the god of violets. And then the violet was very happy. And that's our story. Now, I told you last time that today we would paint the dog. So we can make our pictures into kind of a storybook. How can we make a dog? I thought maybe we start first again with doing some drawing with a crayon. Because to make a real form is sometimes easier with drawing. The colors help us with the painting and the drawing help us with getting the form. Sometimes you can get both in one, but we're not there yet. So, now there are so many different kind of dogs. First of all, they're not all bad dogs. They're very nice dogs. Maybe some of you have a pet, a dog at home. Or maybe you have a cat, or maybe some other animal. And the dogs, they can be not just wild and rough and barking. They can be our best friend. They are really good companions. And they like to get stroked. So, I have a dog near me. When I go home to our house, I always meet the dog, which belongs to Sonja and Tobias. And he always barks, because he wants to defend the family. But when I come and talk to him long enough, then he rolls over on his belly and likes to get scratched, and he likes that very much. Now, this is not the kind of dog we are talking about now. We want to see how we make a dog by drawing. And so I thought, with a crayon, we can make his scruffy fur. And you know what? When you stroke a dog, you have to be careful how you stroke the dog. You always start from the head down towards the tail. You don't go the other way. That would make the hair stand up. You make the hair go down like that. And so this is what we will try with our drawing. We make it all go down, down. I make like little strokes. See, this is how I start. I make little strokes. Where the hair goes down, from the head down. And I make sort of like the body. And you know how you can stand up tall. The dog doesn't stand up tall. The dog is always sort of horizontal, more in this position. The plant, the little violet, that grew up straight. But the dog goes like the same position as the earth, same direction. And so that's what we want to show. And then we make the head. And what is important about the head is that the dog has a very keen nose. The dog is so clever and can smell everything. So we make sure this dog has a good nose, which we can recognize. And they can also hear very well. They prick up their ears, or some of them have long ears. There are all sorts of dogs. This one, I will give him some ears that are pricked up. And I'll give him some legs so he can run around. And of course the tail, we mustn't forget the tail. He can say a lot with his tail. You know what he does when he's happy? Yes, I think you know. He wags his tail. And when he's not happy, ooh, the tail gets very stiff, or if he's afraid, it might go between his legs. Also, you can watch the fur. When he gets angry, the fur starts to go up. I'll show you a little bit. Like that, the fur starts to go up. He shows his hackles. So if the dog growls and his hair goes up, then you be careful. Don't go too close. But mostly the dogs show you when they're happy, the tail goes wagging. And then you're all right. Now this dog is rough. I made a lot of A lot of fur on this one. And when I tried out my picture for today, I found out it doesn't work if I give him so much fur with a crayon. Then the paint doesn't work anymore. So when we do it on our painting, we just go around the outside. So I will do it once more. We do it more on the outside. Let's see. Because we want to be able to paint the dog too. Not just draw him. We want him to have some good color. We can give a little bit of the nose. Sometimes you can see his tongue hanging out. The dog often has his tongue out. And his tail needs to be there. All right. I don't know if you can see this. I will hold it up for you. So I just make a little bit from the outside. And you can give him an eye or not an eye, I don't mind. But the nose is important. I'm going to take a little bit of red for his tongue. You can't tell what kind of dog is it. Is it a German Shepherd? Is it a Labrador? What kind of dog? It really doesn't matter. There are too many dogs in the world. They can't all look the same. So you can make one up. All right, I think now we are ready to paint. I will put this away. And we give our paper a bath like the last time, so that goes in the water. Now I will take my sponge and take the extra water away and make it nice and smooth. No puddles, no bubbles. Goodbye. Everything gets nice and smooth. And if it's too wet, then the paints do their own thing and they run away. We don't want it too wet. But we like it a little bit moist, so the colors can mix and mingle and make beautiful new shades together. All right, I think we are ready. Now first we will do our background like last time. I will start with a little bit of yellow below, because so easily the yellow gets all green. If we put a bit of blue in it, we don't want that. So I put a bit of yellow down here. Very gently. Remember, it's in the woods. Our story takes place in the woods. And then it gets lighter and lighter as we go up. And darker yellow at the bottom. All right, you take your time. If you want to paint, do it as long as it takes. No need to rush. Then we wash out our brush. Always very important to wash the brush out properly. And now we will take the blue for the blue sky. Always stroke it gently on the side of the jar or bowl or whatever you have. So it's not making a big blob, not too much and not too little. Here's our blue sky. you ever notice that if you look at the sky outside, the bluest part of the sky is right at the top. That's another lesson to talk about that. Why is that? So now I make it lighter, and then it starts to mix a little bit with the yellow, and we get new colors. I think I have to put some more blue down below. Perhaps I'm going to fix this a little bit. It got too dry. My brush got too dry. I have to add a little water. Oh, this is a very dark blue. Maybe I took the wrong blue from my room. I think it's darker than we had last time. Take a look at this. This looks almost like it's water down there. I think I have to give it more yellow. Otherwise it doesn't make a nice green for the forest. I go over the dog already a bit. He can have some of that green, and then later we'll make him look more brown. Okay. I shall have to go back to the yellow. It's really the sunlight, the yellow sun, which makes everything turn green. They don't get sunlight like the mushrooms where they grow underneath, they're just white. They need the sunlight to get green. Or if potatoes are green, they shouldn't get the sunlight. That's much better if they don't turn green. You don't want to eat the potato when it's green inside. That means it got sunlight. It should be under the ground. Alright. Now, here comes our dog. I think he needs a little stronger color, don't you think? He can't do very much if he looks just so green and slow and boring. What color shall we give him? I think a little bit of red would do. Oh, that's too pink almost. Never mind, we'll start with this. Oh, 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 oh. He's coming along. See, there's his tail and the legs. Here comes the dog. We don't want to make his ears too long, then he starts to look like a donkey. Just a little ear. Alright. I think I'm going to put another color on him. Put a little bit of this red down below so we can have a bit of brown in the earth. Now we go to yellow once more. See, you have to be a bit of a magician to make the right brown. You have to be an alchemist to make a nice brown color. Here comes the yellow now. All three colors together make the brown. Oh, now he looks like he's almost a golden dog. A golden retriever. What is this here? We shouldn't make him too nice, right? That doesn't fit to the story. That would be go in with blue once more. And see if we cannot make some nice brown. I think it's too much blue. The blue is very strong today. I have to be a little bit careful with it. I don't have so much luck today. Now it's getting a little bit brown, but it's very light. Very light. You know, sometimes you just have to fuss around a bit until you get it just the way you want it. Have to have some patience for painting. Hey, he looks almost like a wolf. You know, that's my name. But after all, the dogs come from the wolves. Yes, long ago. Here we go. Oh well, here he comes. Here comes our dog. See? Shall we make a tree for him too? Because he's also in the woods, right? So we could make a tree. Let's take a little bit of paint. Ah, I didn't stroke it. Did you notice I make mistakes sometimes? But you know what? In the end, sometimes mistakes make the best pictures. That's very funny. I've often noticed that. Just mustn't give up. Oh, there goes another tree. Right tall. And some branches coming out. And some go over here. There comes another tree. Streaming up and down. But we can't just leave it red and purple. That's not quite where we are at. Let's give it a little bit of yellow in it. It's like magic, it keeps changing. All right, let's make one on the other side too. Tree. And you can make the trees however you like, with as many branches as you want. Not so important. Alright, here comes the dog. And he thinks it's really fun to scare the little Violet. It's a bit of a bully, huh? Well, after a while, it will all turn out alright. But in the beginning, he just thinks it's funny to scare that little Violet. Now some of the water is playing a trick on me today. Look at that. See, it looks as if the dog has many, many legs. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's just ridiculous. We'll have to fix that a bit. Make it into grass here. Not so many legs allowed. Just 4 legs. This one too. Really like an extra leg. And here too. Don't need so many legs. 4 legs are enough for you. Alright, does it look now better? Let's check this out. Now the tree is starting to weep. It's making some drips over here. This is not my day. Okay, now we fixed it. Alright, so here is our dog. Just coming to scare the little Violet. Telling him something that's not really true. If somebody would tell you the sky is falling, would you believe them? Well, the Violet was very new, wasn't sure what to believe. But I think we going to be the second picture of our story. And you all make your own picture. And I hope you have a good time painting. I'll hold it up for you once more. Here is the dog, coming to scare the little Violet. And you already know what's going to happen. All right, that's it for today. I hope you all have a good week.